What if the most important moment in human history was broadcast live to the world, only to be erased in real time? On October 30th, 2025, that's exactly what millions of people believed they saw. An interstellar visitor named 3IATLAS approached our sun. Strange signals were detected, and then, the live feeds were cut. NASA blamed a technical glitch, but the evidence that followed points not to an error, but to a cover-up of unprecedented scale. So, what did they see that day that they didn't want us to? Let's delve into it.
The interstellar visitor.
Have you ever considered what you would do if a messenger from another star system arrived unannounced? Long before it caused a global panic, 3IATLAS was a scientific curiosity, first flagged by the Automated Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, in Hawaii. Astronomers quickly realized it wasn't from our cosmic neighborhood. Its trajectory was traced back to the constellation Lynx, and its speed was far too great for it to be captured by our sun's gravity, confirming its interstellar origin. Unlike 2I Borisov, the last interstellar visitor from 2019 which behaved like a predictable comet, 3IATLAS was different, according to commentary from Dr. Robert Warwick, the astronomer who discovered the first interstellar object Oumuamua. The lack of a coma or dusty atmosphere on 3IATLAS was the first major red flag. Comets are essentially dirty snowballs that release gas and dust as they heat up, but this object remained sharp and well-defined even as it neared the sun. It suggested a composition of dense rock or metal, not ice. This simple observation was the first clue that astronomers were dealing with something far outside their experience, a visitor that didn't play by the established rules of celestial mechanics.
Global observation.
How do you get the entire planet to look up at the same tiny dot in the sky? You announce that a visitor from another star is about to make its closest approach to our sun, and you do it during prime viewing hours. The scientific community went into overdrive. NASA and the European Space Agency pointed their most powerful instruments at 3IATLAS. Private observatories in Hawaii and Japan cleared their schedules entirely to focus on it. A team coordinated by Dr. Franck Marchis of the SETI Institute helped organize a global campaign, creating a 24/7 network of eyes on the object. But the real phenomenon was public. For the first time, an interstellar object became a global media event. Amateur astronomers joined in, and channels like Voyager on YouTube set up live streams attracting millions of viewers. The open sharing of telemetry and imaging data was celebrated as a new era of transparency in space science. This unprecedented level of real-time public access made the subsequent lockdown all the more shocking. It was a beautiful moment of shared human curiosity, a global watch party for a cosmic mystery, right before everything went wrong.
The freeze.
Imagine you are watching history unfold, and right at the climax the screen freezes. At exactly 11 hours, 47 minutes, and 12 seconds Coordinated Universal Time on October 30th, 2025, that's precisely what happened. On popular amateur streams, the crisp image of 3IATLAS locked in place. The data overlays showing its coordinates, velocity, and spectrometry readings stopped updating. According to commentary from cybersecurity experts, the most baffling part was the inconsistency and precision of the event. While thousands of viewers on the same stream saw a frozen image, others reported their feeds continued normally for several more minutes, suggesting a targeted disruption, not a simple server crash. The chat rooms exploded with confusion as people tried to make sense of the fragmented and contradictory experiences. After about 30 seconds, the affected stream switched to generic error messages. To make matters stranger, NASA's official archived replay later showed continuous, uninterrupted coverage, a version of events that directly contradicts the real-time experience of countless viewers, and immediately fueled accusations of digital alteration and a deliberate cover-up.
Radio signals.
What if the most important event in human history wasn't seen, but heard? While viewers were arguing about frozen live streams, radio astronomers were detecting something that would change everything. Just seconds after the visual blackouts began, radio telescopes in Canada and Europe picked up a structured transmission coming from the exact location of 3I/Atlas. Legendary SETI researcher Dr. Jill Tarter, upon reviewing the data, confirmed it was unlike anything she had ever seen. The signal was narrow, band, a key indicator of an artificial source, as natural cosmic phenomena emit noise across a broad range of frequencies. It had a clear, repeating pattern, with a mathematical precision that suggested intelligence behind it. This was not random static, it was a complex layered transmission containing what appeared to be coded information. Within hours, amateur radio hobbyists began posting their own recordings. Despite using less sensitive equipment, operators across North America and Europe had captured fragments of the same transmission, their timestamps all aligning. The message from deep space was real, and it had been heard by multiple independent witnesses.
NASA's panic.
How does a giant government agency react when caught completely off guard? In the hours following the radio detection, NASA's response was less like a scientific institution and more like a panicked animal. They issued a brief, hastily written statement on their website calling the radio event unconfirmed interference and blaming video issues on technical transmission errors. Then, in a move that stunned space journalists, they deleted the statement entirely within the hour. Casey Dreyer of the Planetary Society, an expert on space policy, later explained that this kind of rapid retraction is unheard of. All official NASA statements go through a lengthy, multi-departmental approval process, and removing one requires authorization from the highest levels of the administration. The speed of the removal suggested that orders had come down to shut the story down immediately, regardless of protocol or public transparency. It was the first clear sign that this was not a technical glitch, but a full-blown crisis unfolding at the highest levels of government.
Data lockdown.
What do you do after you've deleted the evidence? You lock the doors. Immediately following the deleted statement, NASA triggered a protocol known as an internal data protection notice. This is not a routine procedure. As astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb has often argued, science thrives on open data, and this action was the antithesis of that principle. According to NASA's own administrative manuals, it's reserved for extreme scenarios like the discovery of potential extraterrestrial life or national security threat. The effect was instantaneous and absolute. Publicly accessible telescope feeds switched to offline for maintenance messages. University researchers who had been studying the object for weeks suddenly found their access credentials revoked. This lockdown prevented the crucial process of peer review, effectively stopping science in its tracks. The lockdown was comprehensive, affecting not just the raw data for 3IATLAS, but entire sections of NASA's public archives that contained any cross-referenced material. NASA had effectively sealed the data vault, cutting off the global scientific community from the most important discovery in history.
Anomalous readings.
What was in the data that was so terrifying it had to be hidden? Fortunately, NASA doesn't control every telescope on Earth. While the American agency was in lockdown, independent observatories in Chile and Japan kept watching, and what they found only deepened the mystery. A team at the European Southern Observatory measured the object's reflectivity, or albedo, and found it was bouncing back nearly 60% of the light that hit it, a value consistent with polished metal, not the 5 to 10% seen from typical asteroids. Meanwhile, researchers at the Subaru Observatory in Japan were tracking the object's trajectory with extreme precision. They found persistent, subtle deviations from its predicted path, a non-gravitational acceleration that could not be explained by outgassing. Dr. Avi Loeb of Harvard University, who famously proposed an artificial origin for Oumuamua, stated that such an acceleration, without a coma, is a strong indicator of technology, such as a solar sail. The final piece of the puzzle came from infrared measurements, which showed 3IATLAS was far cooler than it should have been, consistent with a highly reflective, non-absorbent surface.
Information blackout.
How do you erase a discovery from the scientific record? You coordinate. As news of the anomalous readings spread through academic backchannels, a much wider information blackout began. Anne Druyan, a powerful voice for scientific transparency, called it a betrayal of the public trust. The European Space Agency quietly moved all of its 3I/Atlas observations behind a firewall, citing a data review process that could take years. University observatories that normally share findings openly suddenly went silent, with reports of pressure being applied to their funding organizations. Conference presentations on the object were being canceled without explanation. This created a chilling effect where scientists began to self-censor, fearing professional reprisal if they spoke out about what they had seen. Even Freedom of Information Act requests filed with government agencies were met with indefinite delays. The lockdown was systematic and global, an effort to control the narrative by making anyone who pursued the story seem like a fringe conspiracy theorist rather than a serious researcher.
The echo.
Just when the story had faded from the headlines, a faint echo of the mystery appeared, several weeks after the initial event. As 3I/Atlas was heading out past the orbit of Mars, radio receivers at the Green Bank Observatory picked up another signal. It was much weaker, barely detectable above the background noise of the cosmos, but the pattern was unmistakably similar to the first transmission. An experienced radio astronomer on duty was one of the few who noticed it. They explained that automated systems are programmed to filter out such weak signals as noise, so it required a human operator to recognize the anomalous pattern in real time before it was discarded by the system. The signal's weakness suggested a distant source, and its location was perfectly aligned with the predicted outbound trajectory of 3I/Atlas. It was a potential follow-up message, a final fading whisper before disappearing back into the silent darkness of interstellar space, another piece of evidence that would quickly be buried.
Coordinated silence.
What happens when you present definitive evidence of a cover-up? Nothing. The official response to the echo signal was a deafening coordinated silence. When researchers requested the original receiver logs from the follow-up detection, they were told the data was classified as part of an ongoing national security review. NASA's public databases showed only routine calibration entries for those dates. Dr. Gary Nolan, a scientist known for his rigorous approach to controversial phenomena, noted that such institutional silence is often more telling than a denial. Journalists who contacted media relations offices received form responses about unrelated missions. The pattern was now frustratingly clear. Every new piece of evidence that surfaced was quickly and systematically buried behind administrative barriers. This silence damaged the public's trust in the very institutions designed to expand our knowledge. It confirmed that for reasons we can only speculate on, the authorities had decided that humanity was not ready to know the truth about our interstellar visitor. On October 30th, 2025, we witnessed an event that could have changed human history forever. An interstellar object displayed properties inconsistent with any known natural phenomenon, broadcast a structured signal, and then triggered an unprecedented global information lockdown. Was 3I/Atlas just a highly unusual space rock that caused a series of unbelievable coincidences and technical errors? Or was it our first brief contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence, a contact so profound that the world's powers decided we weren't ready to know the truth? The data is hidden, the questions remain unanswered, and the silence from those who know is deafening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the mysteries of space. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech.